Provo, Utah. This is the Ultimate Final Fantasy Podcast with your hosts, Joseph DeGolier and Caleb Schweiss. This is Ultima Final Fantasy.
Welcome to another episode. Yet another episode. What are we at? Like 59 here?
Something like that. 59.
Yeah, okay.
Episode 59.
Yeah. Welcome to another episode of Ultima Final Fantasy, the ultimate Final Fantasy podcast, recorded a day early in honor of 4th of July for you Americans out there. America.
Yeah.
America. Tomorrow we get to celebrate America.
It's true. I'm going to celebrate it by sleeping in.
Yeah.
Start off the celebration.
Yeah, we start out the celebration. Actually, it's not even a day early. It is the 4th of July, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like...
Because we are recording a little late.
Yeah, we brewed us some beer, so that'll be exciting in about a month.
Yeah, we're brewing our first batch of beer, and we took the grains and made a loaf of bread. So if you hear a beeping in the background at some point during this episode, it means it's probably ready.
Yep, so we'll be stopping that. Although, by the way, my name is Caleb.
And I'm Joe.
And what are we going to be talking about today?
Well, we're going to be starting the first episode in a...
Oh my god.
In a running series called The History of Square-Enix.
Oh, okay.
Why?
I thought it was going to be...
Super Sexy Swinging Fanfiction 8?
No. No, I thought
I'm ready.
We're going to do a brewcast.
You thought we were going to do a...
brewcast, yeah.
Oh, a brewcast. Oh,
yeah, what would we even
We're
do?
making a Final Fantasy flavored drink.
Yeah.
Whatever that means.
No. So, this will be exciting.
Salty, yet sweet. You
Yeah.
Kingdom Hearts fans will know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I have no idea what you're going with that. But
Okay.
that's exciting. We got a Square-Enix piece. But, of course, before anything else, I mean... You guys...
They gotta know the plugs, man. You gotta know that you gotta go to youtube.com/Ultima Final Fantasy.
Subscribe, or no, better yet, follow us on Twitter. It's at UFF Podcast, Facebook.com/Ultima Final Fantasy.
Find us on Patreon. Just go to patreon.com, search Ultima Final Fantasy, and please support us on Patreon.
Yeah, $1 a month
You
gets
get some cool stuff, but at the very least, $1 a month. You could give us 25 cents a month. It would be so awesome.
Yeah, and you get the episodes a day early or
Yeah.
2 days early. Shit, I'm probably going to stay up and throw the shit up tonight. Not that anyone's going to be, in the mood for podcasts on the 4th of July, but you never know.
That's true.
It'll be available. And, of course, you can get all of that info and more at the website. It's
UltimaFinalFantasy.com.
And, of course, last but definitely not least, you can watch me play Final Fantasy 12 or whatever the fuck Final Fantasy we're on.
Just go to Twitch.
Twitch.tv/Ultima Final Fantasy.
Yes, Twitch.tv. That's right.
And, yeah, it's good stuff. The only thing I will not be doing is Final Fuck 10. That is against Twitch policy. Or else I would do a commentary on it and be like, no, I don't like what they did with the design there.
Okay. All right, you might want to pull up the soundboard. What are you doing in 12?
Right now in Final Fantasy 12, I just barely took out Dr. Sid for the second time and fought Judge Gabranth. So I did quite a bit. I mean, I took out like 4 or 5 boss fights yesterday or the day before, whenever I played that fucking thing, and I've done, I think, 34 hunts. I did the Gilgamesh hunt, but I fucked up bad, man. I messed up bad. There's parts where you're supposed to steal from them and get the Genji items, and I didn't get the first 2, and they were from the first part of the fight. But the guide is, like, retarded and doesn't mention that until the very last line of the, like, 4-sentence paragraph of information. It's like, oh, by the way, you steal this and this if you do it over and over again. So I missed out on 2 Genji items, and I missed out on the 3rd one, too, because I just could not steal it from the guy. And then the 4th one I got was I think it was the Genji armor. And so I just reset the game. And that's after I fought him for the first fight, so I can't get 2 of the Genji items. It's really dumb. Don't miss the Genji items if you do it. You'll miss 2 of them.
Is that okay? It's during a hunt though, right?
Yeah, it's when you fight. Oh shit! What is his name? Gilgamesh.
Okay.
It's the Gilgamesh hunt, and it's a blast. But I really messed up, and I saved after the first phase, so I can't get 2 of them, which sucks. But I don't know. I'm just gonna keep retrying it until I get the glove and just say screw everything else. What about you? Where are you in Final Fantasy 12?
Well, I went through the whole giant puzzle where you have to get the thingy, and then you go to Mount Baromesis again, and you fight the boss. And so yeah, I fought the boss, and now I have to head to Nalbina.
Wow, that's how do you feel about Nalbina?
I don't know. I haven't been there.
You don't remember?
No, I don't. I don't remember Nalbina. I'm sorry. Should I?
No, I'm just messing with you. It's fine.
Okay, there's like a million places in that game, so I'm...
Yeah, it's a very...
yeah, there's a lot of name-heavy... It's a very name-heavy game as far as locations, equipment, people, things. Like any RPG, but I think a little bit more than, let's say, Final Fantasies 1 through 10.
Yeah, Final Fantasy X really simplified things. I mean, there's... With 12, you don't have... I mean, it's like a callback. You've got your weapon slot, your shield slot, your armor slot, your freaking cuffs,
your coin slot
item, yeah, your coin slot, all of it. You've got the helmet, the gloves, the fucking shield. Whereas 10, you've got your sword and your bangle.
Right.
That's it, weapon bangle. That's the whole game. So it is more RPG-ish, I guess. More of a callback to like 4 and 5 and 6.
Very equipment heavy.
Oh yes,
very. Been upgrading equipment because I was having trouble on a boss, and then I leveled up like a crap ton. Then everything else was super easy ever since.
Yeah, well, that's good.
Over leveled and over equipped.
Well, as long as you keep leveling up and not just running away from stuff, you should remain over leveled.
I was never a runner awayer in this playthrough.
Yeah,
never, and somehow things have just been problematic.
Yeah,
there's something about Final Fantasy 12. It was like this the first time I played it.
You just can't do it.
It's just rough. It's rough for me.
Yeah, I don't know why. I can't figure it out, but we'll get through it. We got time.
I guess so. Speaking of time, what time is it, Caleb?
It is news time.
Is it news time?
I think so.
Let's get to the news.
Let's do it. All right, so first up in news today.
Who sent us the news this week?
It was Shinru, as always, and... Oh, shit, who was the other person? It was a new forum member.
Okay. Thank you, new member.
Yes, thank you.
Sorry we don't have your name pulled up right now.
Yeah, I switched the page off. But anyway, Final Fantasy 6, 7, and 10 songs were played by the London Symphony
Orchestra.
Symphony Orchestra.
Yeah. What's a symphony?
It's kind of like a sympathy.
Sympathy for
it's a sympathy
infancy?
for a symphony.
Okay.
It's a sympathetic symphony.
Okay.
So Square Enix has announced they will be releasing a Blu-ray disc featuring the orchestrated songs from 6, 7, and 10. Final Symphony. Music from Final Fantasy 6, 7, and 10. Really creative. A second disc bundled with the Blu-ray disc includes MP3 files so fans can take the classy arrangements anywhere they go. So that's pretty cool. They've done all sorts of stuff. They did the Star Wars. They've done Harry Potter. Obviously, they performed these.
The London Symphony Orchestra did these, not Square Enix.
No, yeah, not Square Enix. Okay. God. And yeah, so pretty sweet. There's actually a song list on here. Let's see what it's got. Final Fantasy Overture. Okay. Circle within a circle within a circle. Okay. Final Fantasy VI, Symphonic Poem, Born with the Gift of Magic, Terra's Theme, Kefka, Esper World, and Battle.
Okay, so they're like putting together pieces.
Yeah, they're combining. Final Fantasy X, Piano Concerto.
Concerto.
To
Xanarkin, Hymn of the Faith, Thunder Plains, and Assault.
Wow.
Xanarkin, Inori, Kessin. Then they're going to play Stecky Dene.
Yeah. Final Fantasy VII, Symphony in 3 Movements, the main theme, Jenova.
What does that spell?
Genova.
Oh.
Tifa's theme and the Great Warrior.
Okay. Nibelheim Incident, Words Drowned by Fireworks, The Planet's Crisis. Final Fantasy VII Continue, question mark?
I think it's
Oh, is that like the, the game over screen?
Mm-hmm. And then Final Fantasy series, Fight, Fight, Fight!
You think if, like, the composer got really mad that night and, like, stormed off, would they just play the Continue screen music?
That would be hilarious.
That would be hilarious.
I would love that very much.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. They do a great job with their
Arrangements.
Arrangements, yeah, they're really good. So, Mobius Final Fantasy update. Dun dun dun. For all of you who care. Adds a samurai, assassin, and the red mage that we just barely talked about a little while ago being a dead class. Apparently,
Yeah, turns out it's not dead at all.
Apparently they don't think so, yeah. So they recently hit 1 million registered users.
Jeez. Isn't this only in Japan?
I think it is, yeah. Square-Enix, they've already begun their second wave of new content for the game, starting with the second chapter of the game's story, new side story, and of course, extra quests. And some list of things that are new. Main scenario chapter. It's titled Prediction and Hope. Ishtar Desert. Okay, protagonist and Mog. All right.
Okay.
A bunch of cryptic
a
shit.
whole bunch of new stuff.
El Dorado
New
of the Oblivion
jobs.
is the title of the
So
side story.
new ancient ruins.
Yeah. There's some new stuff. It looks kind of cool, I guess. I mean, we'll never touch it. Oh, it looks like the Magus Sisters.
We'll never touch it, but if really no one has like taken us up on this, if you got a mic, really, if you want to play a mobile Final Fantasy to completion and give us a review, just give us an email and we'll tell you how it goes.
Yeah, we will. I mean, if we like it, we'll throw it on an episode.
It's not that way if we like it.
whatever.
I mean, if it just happens, we'll probably put it up. But
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it's like uber shit.
I got to tell them that, keep it less than 20 minutes or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's cool, I guess. I mean, I did, speaking of mobile games, I did download Record Keeper.
Did you?
I
Did you
did.
play any of it?
Yeah, I did. I did the first battle in that thing. It was a Final Fantasy VII fight. It was between... I did like a few fights with the guards, and I just killed those guys, and then I did the fight with the Scorpion boss inside the Mako reactor in the beginning of the game. And it was cool, and it did the BS thing where he like puts his tail up really fast, and like I hit him, and he countered me. And then it did the Final Fantasy 15 thing where it's like, oh, you're almost dead, you should summon. So I was like, okay. And
Summon to save your ass?
Yeah, I summoned Bahamut, and he just wrecked the Scorpion. He just obliterated the poor bastard. So that was cool, and I'm kind of hoping that 15's not just like, hey, game's too hard. Well, there you go.
I hope the 15 demo isn't 100% what we'll see in the 15 thing, because if you can just summon to get out of death...
Yeah, that's kind of BS.
Yeah,
Although,
what's the point? But I doubt it.
with the Catoblepus, or whatever the hell his name is, that was not the case. I mean,
That's true.
I summoned, and he looked dead, but then he stood back up and crushed me with his head.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
So, we'll see. So, Final Fantasy VII G-Bike has another event, apparently. Not that we've played it. And they added Phoenix and a new bike.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. A very colorful Phoenix. It looks
Yeah.
like it's celebrating gay marriage.
Certain events that have happened in the north.
It's a very colorful Phoenix, I would say.
It's true. And I think this thing is inflated. I mean, look at his HP. We're looking at it here. 103,500 HP. Is that, like... what is
That's not
this,
too
30?
bad for a boss.
Well, no, but I wonder what the inflation rate is within G-Bike.
Oh, like what we talked about last week?
Yeah, like what we talked about with the 13 being
Who
just
knows,
numbers
man?
mindlessly flying across the screen.
Who knows?
Definitely not us, because we're definitely not playing
Yeah,
this
so
right now.
it looks interesting. Once again, if you want to learn Japanese and get that on the mobile device of your choice,
It's true, and
give us a review.
yeah, let us know. And apparently they do the Flame Rebirth as the Phoenix Limit skill, so that's kind of standard. Well, that's cool.
Is that all our news for this week?
Yeah, it was.
I think
really-
we forgot to say last week that Heaven's Word was released for Final Fantasy XIV.
Yeah.
So, in case you didn't know,
Yeah, by the
Heaven's
way.
Word.
Totally out. And I think the reason why we didn't mention it, I don't think we did. But
No, I
the
don't
reason
think we
why is
did.
because we missed it the week before, and then we're just like, oh, God, it's too late. But, yeah, everyone's been raving about it. All the guys we played 11 with, they say it's fantastic. They're super excited about it, and I think it looks great. I mean, we saw the release of it, and the trailer was amazing looking.
Yep.
So, finally get to see it.
We saw the
It's-
release of the trailer.
Release of the trailer, yeah, not the release of the game itself, because it just barely happened, and you can't really just see it unless you're, like, right there. But,
All right. Well, Schweiss, let's talk about the history of Square-Enix.
all right, let's do it.
What song was it that you loved? Are you still there?
I think it's Souk Deny. Yeah, we're taking
Sticky
a break.
Denier? Yeah, we got to
Sticky
check on
Denier.
this. We got to check on this bread. It's gonna be like the behind-the-scenes videos of old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We got 6 more
It's just you and I. 6 minutes?
Anyway, complete this thing.
Yeah. Hang on just 1 sec.
Un momento, por favor. It's still good looking. It's true. It'll kind of cook that way. It's not like it was smooth on the top.
True.
Huh.
Oh, the news song.
Oh.
Well, thank you. We like it too.
I actually thought when I made it was kind of a cop out.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
a lot of people really like it.
I guess so.
Kind of thought it was cheap too, but
Yeah, but you did. The other ones I've had to work on. The newest one I was like, oh, just take the Eris theme and sing over it out of tune. I think you sang over it, too.
good job beating Diablo
voice
the
in
other
there?
night. What are you talking about?
Did you beat Diablo the other night?
No.
No?
You might be talking about the other Caleb. Because I'm not playing Diablo.
Yeah, might be
It's
the other
Craig.
Caleb Craig. Oh, well.
And
Well,
he's
we got
beat
5 minutes for that freaking bread to get done.
And he's beaten it like 5 times, so
Has he?
I think so.
Which
He's been
Diablo?
going through it 3.
Oh.
He's been playing 3 like
It's like
crazy.
he hasn't beat the other ones 5 times. There's no way.
He hasn't beaten him at all, man.
Lame.
Over.
Lame. Man, I gotta love that Diablo 2.
Oh, the hunt. Diablo. Diablos.
Oh.
Yeah, thank you. That guy was a pain in the ass, actually. He was scaring me. Near the end, I was like, okay, he's got to die. And he just wouldn't die. And then he died.
Well,
And that's how
a
the
happy
story
ending,
ends.
yes.
Well, for me, I mean, for him, it's a really shitty ending, to be honest. But he is the devil, so, I mean, he should have known. And he did his stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna get more intoxicated.
Yeah? Well, you should probably finish the beer that you have. Good times. Yeah, sorry, it's normally not this brutal for the watching it on Twitch, but we're making beer bread, so we must keep an eye on our baby.
timing.
Yeah. Well, great timing for us, but, you know.
Alright. Here goes the strawberry.
It's better than the apple.
It is.
The apple kind of tastes like regular beer. I don't like that.
No.
No.
I like the apple. But after being introduced to the strawberry,
Well, once you go strawberry, you don't go back. Everyone knows that.
you don't go back, berry.
Yeah. I gotta find some apple reference instead of back. I don't know.
Well, the episode that Baindrum and Chocobo Chica reviewed, we were recording that one at like 1 a.m. And they said it was great because we were like loose-lipped He said.
Yeah.
So, that was the one I was like, save the flan. And then I said something about gay people.
Yeah, you said the gay.
The gays or something.
Yeah, and you're like, that was a great one.
I can't even remember what the joke was, but.
It was, it had something to do with covering your eyes or something like that.
Do you like sour beers?
Yeah, I like, Hefeweizens are kind of sour, I would say. But for the most part, I like really dark beer. So like Guinness and,
See, I'm
brutal
I'm a
things.
puss. I like light.
Yeah.
The lighter, the better. Yeah.
He's no son of mine.
I like liquor.
I like
The
liquor
most.
too, honestly.
Even though we did brew beer today, which was really cool. We got all the stuff for it today.
Yeah, it was like $160 for the kit and the pot, or not the pot, the 5-gallon bucket and the glass bucket thing. And so it wasn't a bad deal. And then we paid about $30 for the beer kit. And we got a loaf of bread out of it, and apparently we can make more than one loaf because there was a shitload of grain left over.
At least with whatever recipe we got.
Yeah, with the recipe we were using. Most of them are about the same size, though. They
Grain-wise?
Yeah, I think so. I was looking at other recipes, and the grain seems pretty consistently around like a few pounds of grain.
Well, it'll be cool. We'll find out how this batch.
Yeah, the bread smells delicious, by the way. It smells amazing in here.
It smells like beer in here mostly. I'm sure if we left the room and came back, it'd be like.
Take a nice whiff. Take a nice whiff. It smells like bread. Like beautiful bread.
Okay, I can smell the bread.
Yes.
I can smell the bread. We're going to check the bread as soon as we hear that beep.
Yeah, so, what about you?
What
kind
is
of
this,
beer do you like?
Lobby Daba?
Yeah.
Lobby Daba? Are you
Loopy
Loopy
Daba.
Daba?
Yeah.
Are you on our forums? Loopy Daba? Be interesting to see.
I'm not
Can't
sure
believe someone's here at this late.
Apparently they were watching me play 12 the other day. Sorry, I'm like the worst at remembering people, especially when I don't have a face to put the name to. Then it's just horrific. Does it look good?
Put the knife right in, you take the knife right out.
Nope.
Not yet.
Damn it.
A few minutes. I don't want to keep going on the episode because it's not like that far off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not on the forums. It's a good place. A lot of cool people. A lot of people that come and go, but that's how forums work, from what I've noticed. So everyone's super active when they first jump in, and then it's just silence. And then you get the ones that creep. You'll like see that they've been online, but they don't say anything. They're just watching, waiting.
Well, the thing is, I've never been a big part of a forum ever.
Yeah,
Ever.
including ours.
I don't really understand. Hey, I do check ours every day in case they're saying something about me, but
Yeah, like hey, I said that, not Caleb.
that's true. I can't remember what it was, but someone said that you said something that I clearly said on an episode, and I was like,
Yeah,
don't they know?
we've had the opposite too.
It doesn't matter though.
We're one. We're one.
No, we're not.
No.
We're not one. Don't touch me. You don't know what he does to me.
Yeah, show him on the dull. Freaking pussy.
Well, someday we'll get to this bread.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll be good stuff too.
Yeah, this is super exciting.
I know it's great, isn't it?
Yeah, well, we should have known it was going to take longer. I mean, the thing is thick as hell.
He says he mostly lurks. I assume you're a he. All right. Lurking.
Yeah.
A lot of people lurk. I lurk. Is that what it is? Just checking without
Yeah, it's a lurk.
responding?
Yeah,
Okay.
it's weird.
We don't get many viewers on these streams, but we haven't been streaming for very long.
Yeah, I get more viewers when I'm streaming a game. I think I usually am around, I don't know, 7 or 8, something. It's not crazy, or it's not even good, really, but it's kind of cool. And I mean, some of it's the hardware. Like, I get weird little glitch things on the screen when I'm playing 12, and it just fucking pisses me off.
Our episode downloads, especially last month for iTunes, we're good. We're a podcast, number one.
Yeah, this is just a side thing that I started to do, and we, as one of our Patreon goals for making money, we decided to do live streams of our episodes.
Which no one knows that we're live streaming at 2 a.m. on a
Saturday morning.
We
did say Saturday morning, so this is official podcast time.
Oh, it is Saturday morning. You're right. We do usually record Saturday.
Yeah.
Saturday day.
Yeah,
but of course it's 4th of July, so America.
Yeah, for you anyway. I'm probably gonna just sit at home. I don't have any invites to anything.
Wow.
Yeah,
That
my
sucks.
family. I just am too hungover and never show up for things.
You're a horrible, horrible son.
It's not for my mom.
No, your grandparents?
Yeah, so I'm a horrible grandson.
You don't have to be a good grandson.
No, they love me anyway.
Yeah. Because, like, your grandparents can just blame it on their kids, whether or not you turned out well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I turned out better than the others. Which isn't hard. I mean, it's 4 there. Nice.
Why are you up?
Yeah. Get some sleep, man.
Well, I don't know. How long do you think we should wait for that bread before we punch it again?
I don't know, dude. I don't know how
either.
long this is going to take.
Do you have the right title on that thing?
No.
Why don't you just edit the title? It'll be easier.
Not really. We edit it when I export it.
Yeah, but then it'll automatically export.
No, but I don't want it to be titled this. I'm not going to edit it.
Oh, okay. Well, then don't fucking worry about it then. If you don't want to do it, don't worry about it.
Playing podcast. The game.
Dude, I wonder if there's a game called Podcast.
Oh my god, there is.
Sorry, was that reloading the stream or is it still the same stream?
It's the same stream. I just renamed it.
Oh, okay. Look at that cat.
Yeah, it doesn't actually stop the stream at all.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna check.
Where the fuck am I? Oh, there I
I'm
am.
gonna check the bread again.
It's like, what is this? I'm just invisible. I died on the way over. And this is all just hyperactive.
Super live stream.
Yeah, it is. You know, they have a cooking stream. There's this really, really attractive woman cooking her food, and it's just called, like, Diana Cooks or something like that. Super hot. She just cooks her meals. And people are, like, throwing money at her because she's got nice breasts. So, you know what? I'm gonna put something out there. I'm going to say, and I know no one's ever going to see this, but if you are a fairly attractive girl that's into Final Fantasy and you hate where you live, you should come out here. You should be with us, be on the podcast, and I want you to stream the games.
Give him a room.
Yeah, you can live in this wonderful home that I have bought and have your own space, your own shit, your own whatever, and I just need you to stream Final Fantasy.
She doesn't even have to be that attractive. She
No,
can
not-
be like a 6.
Yeah, you
she
can
be a 5.5.
Slightly attractive is all we need, and I need you to stream the games. One, so that we get more viewers, we get more like people like watching
make
us, we
money.
get more money. Yeah, you get to keep all the most of the Twitch money, and I can play the games without having to fucking record the things the whole time. I don't have to worry about fucking setting this shit up and this fucking red thing right here.
Don't fuck with it.
I don't have to worry about any of that shit. I can just play the fucking game and be happy.
Why don't you want to stream on Twitch?
I don't mind streaming. It's this fucker that makes it difficult.
That red piece of
And
equipment
it's the
we have.
fact that I am not an attractive female that makes it difficult for people
Dude.
to watch us.
Go and drag. See what happens. Shave your face. Have someone trim your eyebrows.
Drag it up.
I'll have like my sister do a makeup job on you. And it'll be insane. Drag it up, dude. Get a wig.
Perhaps.
Dude.
I could try it, I
Like,
guess.
shave your chest, get a low-cut shirt, paint some cleavage on there. Sorry, what's he saying? I can't read.
He says, peace, guys. Keep up the good work. Thanks, man.
All right,
We'll talk to you
have a good
later.
night.
Got to go to work? Oh, good work. Oh, jeez. I was like, what kind of fascist company do you work for?
Go to work.
Yeah.
Oh, man. The streams of yesteryear.
Yeah, no shit.
I'm sorry, man. We had to cook bread.
We probably could have done, like, most of the fucking episode.
Think so? Well, we wouldn't have known, though.
No, we wouldn't have, so we would have been jumping out and checking. You would have had to go.
I don't know, you can't pause streams, can you?
No. This shit's still leaking everywhere. What is this? Oh, there's tons of water on this fucking counter. It's like all over the floor and shit.
Not water.
Oh, dude, it's
No.
It's not good for the floor. Keep this shit's value so we can sell it.
Honestly, if we had a female co-host, she could be a 4. She could be a 4. We would just pretty her up a little bit.
Oh, peace.
That's all. We put the camera at a good angle. It'd be great. Be great for us. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
I'm wondering how male-based Twitch demographics are.
Probably pretty heavily.
Yeah.
He says do it. He/she says do it. I'm not saying you're both. I said no. No, but we could. That would definitely help us. I think it's weird, but you know, and I'm sure she's not even that entertaining. She's just
The
attractive.
cook?
Yeah, she's just attractive. It's weird to me. It seems creepy, but if you can play it, you can pay for it. It pays, I'm sure. Obviously, it's true. Because and then there's this thing that's like what the hell was it called? It was like it's like something girls where there's like a team of streamers, and
That's alright.
that's supposed to come out clean.
Completely
Pretty
clean?
doughy, yeah. That means it's done. Anyway, it's a team of streamers, and Caleb was sitting there.
Doesn't taste bad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
I think we're making good bread.
Hopefully,
When should we check it?
Hopefully, we'll make good beer too. Give it like I don't know, 10 more minutes.
10?
Yeah.
How about 6? We're doing 6.
I don't want to see the thing bubble though.
Let's talk about some Final Fantasy stuff, just in case people see this on YouTube. I know you really want to see it bubble. You might have to add some more sanitizer to the top of that.
Well, as long as it's doing its thing, I don't care.
Okay.
I do want to see it bubble, just not it's doing its thing.
Okay.
Well, what kind of Final Fantasy stuff do you want to talk about?
Well, you know.
Talk about so much on the
The
show.
history of Square Enix.
Yeah.
Without recording, we'll just do a pre-history of Square Enix. You know, it's odd that the episodes that we tend to think are the best, besides the reviews, I swear to God, it's like they're downloaded the least.
Yeah, these spotlights
These
are...
spotlights, most especially. Why are the spotlights so unpopular? I think it might be that people download podcast episodes with titles that they feel are familiar to a game that they really like in the series. And when they see like a Japanese name, they don't know who the heck it is. I'm sure Nobuo Uematsu will be a successful episode when that comes out.
Yeah.
But it's odd that like Nojima or
Nomura, any of
Nomura or
those. Some of the earlier ones
Ito.
were pretty big now, but yeah, no, it's really weird. I don't understand it. And I think a lot of it, like you're saying, is probably just the podcast app. People that are getting podcast episodes just on random topics or however the hell it works.
Well, even then, they get our episode into their thing, and it's not on auto download. They download it manually. I have a lot of shows on auto download, so they get downloads from me. And they probably go, okay, this week they talked about this. Don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it's rough, guys. Come
Yeah.
on. We need you to care.
We work so hard.
Well, I mean, especially on some of those, they're longer episodes. They take longer to prepare.
See, this episode's gonna be a trick episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, they don't know it yet. It's gonna be a trick.
Yeah, you think so?
The History of Square-Enix Part 1, Rise of the Phoenix. Kinda. I mean, but at an eventual point, you could have a website where you have, like, you know, it just says the History of Square-Enix and it has Part 1, Part 2, Part 3, Part 1.
Yeah.
However many parts it is, probably 4 parts. Not in a row, though. This ain't gonna be in a row.
No.
And these are gonna be short too, so it's like I'm having a ton of build up for a page and a half of notes, which ain't much.
No, it's really not. When it's translated into actual spoken word, it's pretty fast.
And your hosts are slightly intoxicated and tired.
Yeah, I'm just tired.
You're just tired?
I haven't even finished the 2 beers that I poured in there.
They're gonna get warm.
They are. They are.
You're just excited for the carbs we're gonna have?
No. Wait, with the bread? Yeah, I'm pretty excited for the bread.
Pretty excited for the bread. I'm excited for the bread too.
It's gonna be good.
Oh yeah, it's gonna be great.
Man, so much time to kill.
It's so much time to kill. You could have this in parts if you want.
Nah,
Stream? No?
I don't want to mess around with the behind-the-scenes thing. It's so
Okay.
much easier just to pull it straight from here to YouTube.
All right.
That's how I feel about you YouTube guys. This is what you get. I mean, you're fantastic, of course, but
Please download a podcast app on your phone so that when you're on like long drives or something, you just listen.
yeah, it's better.
Or when you're going to sleep or something like that. You don't want a PC humming on or something, whatever. Admittedly, you could just have it on the phone on YouTube, but that drains a lot of battery.
Yeah, it's true, and
Use
you
a
can't
podcast app.
you can't like turn it off.
In
YouTube
fact,
will go away.
if you have if you have Apple, just use the Apple Podcast thing because it's way better than any other podcast app on the planet. There's a good podcast app called Podcast Addict, but I don't really like how they sort episodes around. It's kind of clunky looking. The interface of something I really love, you have to pay for Stitcher, which I've heard is a great app, but I've never used it. I like free apps.
Well, of course.
Thing I love the most, there's an app called Podcast Republic, and it works almost just like the iTunes app. I mean, there's little pop-ups at the bottom, but you don't have to worry about those. You just basically click there, and it has the whole description. It looks really similar to how Apple does its podcast area, and of course, they're the best. So, yeah, Podcast Republic if you have an Android device.
All right.
I'd say go with that. Have you started listening to podcasts?
No, not really. I just mostly listen to music at work.
No. See, I like to have my mind going at all times, you know. Music, not that it's not going then, but I'm like into the song or whatever. Like my mind is streaming with that song. But if I listen to a podcast where they're talking about something interesting, not necessarily a pop culture podcast like this one is, it's Final Fantasy or whatever. But like if people are having a really interesting conversation or I'm learning something really cool, I prefer that over just music. There are times when I'm like, okay, done with the podcast, done with the book on tapes, going to the music. There's times for that, and it's a lot of the time. But, you know, I feel like podcasts really add something to your day and really, you know,
A different kind of flavor.
it gives me a lot of thinking, you know. It helps with my brain, which my brain isn't working. It's not functioning at all levels right now, so.
All or any?
Thanks, Dick. God, you have the most annoying alarm.
Needs to be heard.
Yeah. Hear me. Hear me.
Oh, I could just do what I did with the last really needy thing in my life. Ignore it until it gets tired of me and then kick it out. Hey man, we're creatures of habit. What can I say?
Jesus, dude. Fuck you. Still?
Do you want to just continue? It's gonna probably be a little bit. Was that 10 minutes?
That whole time it's 6. I'll do 6 more.
Ah, jeez. This is brutal.
Sorry, dude. I stayed up till 4, so it's not really that bad. But...
Well, yeah, I'm not worried about your ass. I don't stay up till 4. A normal life.
As brutal as the podcast episode that the poor YouTuber has to go through. Just skip around. Unless you want to listen to us ramble about nothing.
Yeah.
Gotta save that Final Fantasy conversation for later. Did you already give her catnip?
It's a boy.
Give him catnip?
No, I didn't.
Okay. There it is. Say hi, Wayland. The most unhappy cat in the world right now. Totally comfortable where he's sitting, and now he's pissed. Yep.
Ah, yes. Well, I don't know. What do you,
I guess that's not how you hold a cat, now that I'm looking at it.
Nope. Now, we've talked about this personally, but not really ever on any show.
Okay.
Have you thought of a band that you're gonna pick up the CDs for once you're done with Megadeth?
Oh, a band to explore.
Yeah, band to explore.
I've been exploring Megadeth recently. Every time I get something off of Amazon, I try to order a CD with it. And then for Christmases and birthdays, when people ask me what they can get me, I always say Megadeth albums, and I list the ones that I don't have yet. So I've gotten quite a few Megadeth albums, but Megadeth has 14 albums.
Yeah.
So it's a lot. I have not yet explored all of Megadeth. I tell you what I found. Dream Theater.
Dream Theater is pretty good.
Dream Theater is good, and I feel like I've never fully explored Dream Theater.
There's a lot. Oh, wait, maybe not.
There's a lot. They've been around for a long time.
Yeah, they're kind of like trapped in the Iron Maiden days, though. Like musically, they're amazing.
What do you mean trapped in the Iron Maiden?
The
days?
lead singer.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
But they're.
But I've been
really
listening to Dave Mustaine wail.
They're like an amazing progressive metal band.
Yeah, I really like. I really liked what I've heard so far.
Yeah, I've been listening to them since like high school. They've got some good stuff.
Yeah, I never explored them though. I know they don't have any radio hits or anything. I think they have one, but
Maybe
it's never on. So I guess
Doesn't
they had a
matter.
hit back in the '80s, and because I was looking at their stuff, and there was an album called Greatest Hit.
Really.
Yeah, it was Dream Theater Greatest Hit and 21 other good songs. I think is what it was called.
That's pretty funny.
So yeah, they've had one radio hit.
That's what happens sometimes.
Yeah, so it's not like I know that many of their songs by name. I know Panic Attack.
Yeah.
That's a really cool song.
So you feel like there's a fair amount of discovery involved with this band, is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
tons of discovery. I'll probably get the album, whatever album Panic Attack is on, which is a really cool song. I'd probably get that and then just move on from there.
I've watched a bunch of their behind-the-scenes videos and stuff, too.
Mm-hmm.
They're really good.
But I do feel that like those bands that like Tool and whatever, their songs always feel less personal. Those progressive bands, so I'll try one album and I'll see from there.
I think you should try a
I do want to get Danzig's first 3 albums also.
Yeah, Danzig's first album is awesome.
Yeah, because Baindrum introduced me to them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean more than the song Mother. But
I had heard a couple of them, but mostly Mother. I don't know.
I thought that song was sung by Billy Idol for so long,
Really?
and I still hear it. Listen to White Wedding, and
Yeah,
then
it
listen
sounds
to
similar,
Mother.
I guess.
Yeah,
Billy Idol's pretty sweet though.
yeah.
Got some
Billy
good
Idol's
music.
pretty
He's
sweet.
got like a solid.
Except for Dancing with Myself wants to make me kill myself. But
Yeah,
Dancing with myself. It's
it's
lame.
one of his bigger hits too.
I hate that song.
Yeah,
I was thinking of maybe exploring Black Sabbath also.
Yeah, I've got one of their CDs, and it's not Paranoid. It's Black Sabbath.
No, yeah.
It's a great song.
Yeah, the song Black Sabbath.
What is this that stands before me? Oh, please, God, no. I don't know. There's even newer bands that you could probably find good music with. Like I think you would enjoy A Perfect Circle. I listened to one of their CDs all the way through. I think day before yesterday, and it was really good. There's a lot of good stuff. It's like a more.
I felt like I've tried Perfect Circle before, but they're a little bit too. There's something very direct with heavy metal
Yeah.
that rock doesn't have. You know, like I don't know how to explain why I hate like punk rock versus metal. Like
I don't think Perfect Circle is punk rock at all.
no, I'm not. I'm saying that as an example. It's like a guitar playing style.
I think it's the vocals that kill it for punk rock for me.
Okay.
I hate the style for the most part, and I hate what they're whining about.
I don't know. I think I just love the sound of palm muting, like, or like wailing guitar solos, but open chords. I'm not as into. Like, I'm not as into, and I feel like there's that sort of sound of like open chords and stuff. It's a sound that's grating on my ears, and Perfect Circle has a lot of it. At least what I explored before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got some really good radio hits, though.
What is
I
it?
think.
Judas?
Yeah, Judith. And,
Judith. Sorry.
There's a few others.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to that CD, though. I listened to the first one. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think there's great Godsmack songs that never saw the light of radio.
I never really explored the Beatles.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You've pretty much explored the Beatles, though. Like, you've heard them.
Heard
enough.
Hey Jude and Blackbird, and we're good.
Well, no, there's plenty of radio hits, though. Beyond Hey Jude and Blackbird, there's
I love Hey Jude, man.
Yeah.
That's a great song.
some really good ones.
Well, yeah, the Beatles. But.
Yeah, they're one of the better bands. They're, like, huge for a reason. Pink Floyd is another one I think you'd really like. They've got a lot of good music.
Do they have like Tool issues though, where it's like 3 songs per album?
There's a few albums that are really long, and it's
That
instrumental.
have a whole bunch of like nothing in it.
Dark Side of the Moon doesn't have that, and it's
Okay.
the one that was on the Billboard Top 200 for like ever. It was like 700 weeks or something like that. No, it was seriously like a decade where they were on the top 200. Just that one CD, just endlessly, just always there. It's disgusting. And yeah, I think it was 7 years.
That's
is what it was.
insane.
Yeah, that's like unheard of, even back then. But they've got some really good music, and they don't really have that many CDs either.
Okay.
But Black Sabbath would be a good one too.
Yeah, I'm thinking Black Sabbath. I'm thinking the first 3 Danzig albums because I tried listening to their newest stuff. It's awful.
Which one?
Their newest album
So new.
is horrible. It sounds like his vocals were recorded somewhere else and then pasted on some really, really so out of place heavy music. I don't know how to explain it, but it didn't sell anything, and it's atrocious trash.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so bad.
Wasn't that kind of recent?
Because
too?
Baindrum was like, yeah, just listen to the first 2. He kind of goes crazy after that. Then I listened to some of the third one. Like I clicked on, YouTube has the full albums. Sometimes I clicked
that
on
the
that,
one
and I was
with,
like, oh, this sounds okay. So I'll probably get the first 3 albums.
Is that the one, How the Gods Kill, on there?
I have no idea.
Is it got the skull on the front.
They
It's
all
gray.
have a
It's
skull
gray,
on them.
not black.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's a really awesome song on there. That's what the album's called, is How the Gods Kill. There's Danzig 1, Danzig 2, maybe Danzig 3, and then that one. But it's not the new one. It's an older album. But that song is really fucking good. It's like one of the ones that I always listen to at work. It's fucking...
Yeah, I'd like to get
fine.
into them. I know you told me to get into Slayer, but...
You don't know if you could do
I
it?
feel like every Slayer album is the same. It's...
Oh, you could say every Metallica album is like that, too. Every Metallica album has a similar feel, too. At least the first three, they feel similar to me. They're really
You think
good.
Master of the Puppets sounds like Kill 'Em All?
Well, no, okay. The 2, 3, and 4 sound pretty similar. They all have the one really soft
The really
song.
great song, the really great albums by Metallica, the old great albums.
Yeah, they
Okay.
have similar feels.
Ride the Lightning, Master of Puppets, and Justice for All.
Justice probably least, but
Oh, they took the bass out of it.
well, yeah, but
No,
it
I
sounds
get
weird.
it. So all the what is the name of the producer for those? Rasmussen, I think was his last name.
Yeah, he's done a lot of music,
Yeah.
if I remember right. I don't know, or he could get into AC/DC.
Nope.
Why not?
No, because they have the Slayer problem. Every single album sounds exactly the same.
Yeah,
Even when they switch singers, they sound the fuck. I can't tell the fucking difference between the two singers.
I can tell the difference. Between
I'm glad you can.
TNT doesn't sound anything like Thunderstruck. He sounds like he's actually...
They sound the same to me, man.
I don't think so at all. Thunderstruck, he's not actually speaking English, and in TNT he is.
What?
He enunciates.
It
a lot.
all
He's not
sounds.
just,
It all sounds like AC/DC to me.
I really don't think so. I don't.
I
Like the new guy
really
as
think
much.
so.
I don't like the new guy's voice.
Maybe I'll get into Deep Purple. Deep Purple's cool.
Yeah, they've got like 4 good songs. I'd rather get into Cream.
Cream's
They
cool.
have Eric Clapton. He's a fucking
Cream is
monster.
cool. I got that Eric Clapton, the 2-disc greatest hits thing.
Do they have any Cream on there?
Yeah, it had Sunshine of Your Love on it.
There's a few.
It
other
might
good
have a
ones.
few other ones, yeah.
I don't think they're good enough to get into.
Well, you just get it to Eric Clapton. You just grab some Cream albums.
Yeah.
So
Oh, there's always. I don't know. You don't
Jimi
really-
Hendrix Experience.
Yeah.
How many albums does that have? I got their first
It's
one.
big. There's a lot of songs on.
Is
Jimi
there?
Hendrix, yeah. He did a lot of music for how short-lived his career was.
Yeah, because I got Jimi Hendrix Experience, and that's a great album.
Yeah.
That's really good. I think it's just self-titled.
He's
It's
a great
great.
artist.
Yeah. So maybe some more Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm probably gonna buy CCR one day. Maybe just the greatest hits though. Dude, they're a great band.
Creedence Clearwater, not as good as Marvin Gaye.
It doesn't matter. They still got great songs.
I know. It's fine.
Even if it's just the cover. Led Zeppelin.
Are they all covers? Are they a cover band?
What?
Creedence Clearwater.
Yeah, I only have one cover, I think.
No. Oh, I remember. I wanted to get Fleetwood Mac's first album.
Yeah.
That seems like a good investment. You don't like Fleetwood Mac?
They're alright. The One Winged
Ah.
Dove song I thought was a joke when I listened to it on Grand
It's a
Theft Auto.
great song.
It did the whoo, baby, whoo. I was like, what the fuck?
And you can grow your own weed.
Yeah.
That's a good song, too.
There's a few others that are pretty good by him, but I would only get the greatest hits, I think.
Maybe the Eagles.
I've only gotten the Guns N' Roses greatest hits, too. But I think they're worth a few more albums, because I went back and
Well, they
listened.
only have like 4 albums.
I've went back and listened to Use Your Illusion. And it's got some pretty good songs on there that aren't that popular. So,
Yeah, you gonna get that Chinese Democracy?
probably not.
No.
I'm not going to get the Spaghetti Incident either.
What is that?
It's their CD after Use Your Illusion 2, I believe, because they released those like one a year after another.
No, I thought it was a huge gap between that CD and Chinese Democracy. Like I thought there
think so.
wasn't anything in between.
There's that. There's
Really?
that fucking Spaghetti CD. Yeah.
Now, what's the point of reading Slash's biography if I can't
You can't believe him.
remember this shit?
Oh, let's take a look while we got all
Yeah,
this
Guns N'
fucking
Roses
time.
albums. Or we're waiting for bread to bake. Click that, baby. Click that Wikipedia article. Why did you click on Google Images? I don't need to see pictures of Guns N' Roses.
Why not?
It's not going to tell me what their album titles are.
It's gonna tell you how fake Slash's hair is.
Think so?
Yes.
You really think so?
Yes, I am like 100% sure that he's got a wig.
No.
Dude,
He doesn't.
he's got a wig.
I think he's got super curly hair.
It's a fucking wig, man.
He's
I've
half
seen him.
black, dude.
I've seen
He's
him
got,
with
like, a
no
half-
hair.
He's got a half fro.
I've seen him with no hair.
What bullshit?
And then he has hair. It's like that shit takes years to grow. Okay. Yeah, look right here. Spaghetti Incident, 1993.
Released
Collection of
a collection of covers. That's not an album.
Okay. All right. Well, it's still shitty.
That's
Maybe
like
why.
Garage Inc.
Look at that douche.
Scroll down. Let's see if there's any more.
There's not.
There's not. Okay, so it is the giant gap and then Chinese Democracy.
Yeah.
Which was... eh.
And then the Buckethead guy. Idiot. He's pretty
System
good
of a
at
Down
that.
needs a new album. Metallica needs to finally freaking make their album. Dude, if they take another year, it'll be 9 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sick.
Well, it's Tracy Guns. The reason why it's Guns N' Roses not really there for anything. And then Slash.
Yep.
Yeah, they're a decent band. I don't know. They're probably better than I give them credit for. I just fucking hate his voice sometimes.
Maybe I should get into Korn.
And I hate him too. He's a fucking bastard. Such a
Korn
dick.
some more. I used to be into Korn a lot.
I was into Korn quite a bit. I've got a few of their CDs actually.
But then every time I listen to their albums, I like get super depressed.
Yeah.
Yeah, like Metallica or Megadeth, they like energize you. You're like, yes. But Korn is like,
You could try Rage Against the Machine. But then you would be energized, but you'd be energized to overthrow your government. So I don't know. Like let's go burn the Capitol building.
Okay.
Let's
Yeah.
get in there and kick Gary Harrison down. They're really good.
burn down the Capitol.
Rage Against the Machine is fantastic, and only 4 CDs, counting the Renegades, and I think that's a cover CD.
The Renegades of Fuck.
Their How I Could Kill a Man, How I Could Just Kill a Man is pretty good too. I like the original one too by Cypress Hill.
Maybe I
It's
should
good.
actually buy Nirvana's albums. Give Dave Grohl some more money.
Yeah. Yeah. He's good, I guess.
He's good on funds.
Yeah. Well, and he's an alright drummer. I mean,
Yeah, he's a good drummer.
a lot of people are
No
like,
one's arguing
"Oh, he's
with that."
amazing," but yeah, he's good.
Well, I don't know. I don't know how to spot an amazing drummer. Like
Oh.
I know the Dream Theater guy is good, and the
He's
old
really
Avenged
good.
Sevenfold guy was really good.
I don't think he's as good as the Dream Theater guy though. That guy fucking rocks, man.
He makes everything look so easy, and he's like, and he's got like a million like.
Yeah, he's
thing.
crazy. And like the guy I was sitting next to was like, "Oh, this guy? Who is this guy? He's not as good as the old guy." And I'm like, "He's fantastic."
I don't know if it was actually Mark Portnoy that was there when we did that.
I think it was.
It might have been. I think he might have toured for a while, and they might have been on that tour. But
I saw
the
the
guy
guy.
that's the drummer now, like the like official member. I think he was touring with Avenged Sevenfold for a couple years before.
Yeah.
Yeah, it might have been that dude.
It was Portnoy that was there. I
Was
saw
it?
him. Yeah, I saw his hair. He did not look like the rest of the band. Older.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that's cool then. I thought like later when I found out about the new Avenged Sevenfold drummer,
You thought it might
I
have
was
been him.
well. I looked at his history or whatever, and he was just doing live shows with them, and then just became the drummer.
Yeah, it was him for that tour though. I remember people talking about it, and they're like, "Oh, it's some guy from Dream Theater, some band." I'm like,
Well, the reason they did that is because it was like the drummer of Avenged Sevenfold's favorite drummer. I can't remember anybody's names.
"Well, he's dead now, so
Yeah, he's dead now. It doesn't mean anything.
what does he die from? What did he die from? Drugs? Really?
It's drugs. They wouldn't say what he died from.
Oh.
It's drugs. That's what that means.
Yeah, or alcohol.
Yeah, or he was strangled by like a prostitute or something.
Strangled by a prostitute? Is that what you said?
Yeah. It went the other way.
The safety word.
No. This is supposed to be the opposite of what what I wanted.
Yeah.
I wanted to strangle you.
Oh, God.
Strangle you. Hear me out.
Oh, that's probably better than the AC/DC guy's death. He, like, drowned in his own puke.
Oh, that's been said for a lot of rock stars I've heard, so.
Yeah.
Yeah. That kind of shit happens when you're lying on your back and you drink too much alcohol.
And you throw
up.
up.
You throw up and you're asleep and you choke to death.
Yep.
So I think that's how they say Alexander the Great died, or something similar to that. Or it was like he had a nosebleed and choked to death on it in his sleep after being drunk.
I don't know if it's Alexander the Great.
Which, by the way, 2 days ago, I woke up with a nosebleed, and I was like, what? Out of nowhere.
Were you drowning?
And there was, well, like, I thought automatically, I was like, I did a report on Alexander the Great in junior high or whatever. But I had, like, blood streaks all over my arm and then on my shirt, and I was like, oh. Like, I didn't even notice. I must have been, like, I must have been having my arm, like, rubbing it around, just all the blood. My
all up in your hair and
bloody
shit.
nose. Yeah, I wouldn't even notice if it was up there. It's all rust colored anyway. So
Yeah. Like a piece of iron that's been left outside.
Stuff's gotta be done.
It's been quite a while.
I don't know how clean it was before I put it in there. It felt like bread, though.
Well, that's good. Because it's definitely bread.
Just some butter out. It's as good as it's gonna get. It's very, very light on there. But the knife was wet. I feel like that's gonna pull some off too. You know? You know?
Yeah, that's fine.
I don't mean, you check it if you're concerned. It's got some stuff on there already. Here. Whoops, so many holes in it. Could be that aluminum blocking the.
It's still a little bit moist, but I think it's okay.
Think so?
Yeah, well, it's not going to kill us. I mean, it's bread.
Yeah, it's gonna be moist bread. Where's the
hot pads that don't exist anymore? Use the fucking towel.
She had to take the hot pans.
I don't know what happened to the hot pads. I think Caleb did something to them. It's the common, like, problems.
My hoppy hoppies.
That's why he's on his way out. To live with his mom forever. $20 says he doesn't get a place.
$20?
Yeah.
I don't want to take that bet.
Damn. I would maybe bet the other way too, and just be like, hey dude, you gotta do this.
Just help them a little bit more.
Yeah.
They said he could apply it. I mean,
This is definitely not a bread knife.
it's definitely not bread. Should we pop that out?
The whole loaf?
Most people like put it upside down. What do they do?
Probably. I'm gonna loosen it a bit. Doesn't feel terribly attached.
Oh, baby. Look at that. That is a loaf of bread. I gotta show the audience that. Okay, for you strange folks who are actually still watching, and hopefully you're watching so you can see this. Look at this loaf of bread that we've been waiting on. Look at this. Isn't that beautiful looking? Goodness, you got your knife?
Yeah, right here.
Got some butter?
It's in the freezer or fridge. But this should be hot enough to melt it.
Probably not, but...
Oh, it's hot. Oh, it's still moist as fuck.
Alright, well, let's snack a little bit and do an episode, shall we?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Episode snack.
God damn it! It's so hot. So hot. What?
It's still wet. Shit was gonna take an eternity to fucking cook.
I think the loaf size is just too big. It just tastes great.
Yeah.
We gotta do this every time we make beer.
Waste not.
Hmm?
Said waste not.
Yeah.
Dwayne would be happy.
Dwayne.
He's native.
Oh, Native American. Remember when you make the beer. Native Americans didn't have beer.
Drank the sediment from the bottom. Oh God, no.
Alright. Alright. You get the article pulled up?
Yeah. We're not gonna start now, are we?
Why not? Did you have questions pulled up?
No, I didn't.
We'll wait for that. Yeah, I think the loaf was just too thick. So it's not going to cook all the way through. Next time we'll have to do smaller loaves.
The outside is incredible, though. Fucking good. It's like the Great Sea bread, but times 10.
Man, this is good. Just go to the beer place to go get grains. How many questions do we have in total? Still a lot? Oh, jeez. June 5th. This is riveting television.
Yeah.
Yep.
Top notch, really.
Yep.
Watch two people eat.
Really just watching one person eat. I mean, are you on the frame? Yeah. I don't know. We can pop this in for a little. Not episode long, though. And we can probably answer like 4.
Oh, it's 7.
That's a lot.
I think we'll be okay. We got some people that don't ask questions very often. Light Sage hasn't been on for a while. I like to hit him up. And I changed it to where we're skipping more recent ones. Because certain people have like a ton of them that they hit all at once.
Mm-hmm.
So I got one from each person.
Okay.
There you go.
You gonna be reading too, or do you want me just to leave?
I can read too.
Okay. I do long sentences.
What?
I do long sentences.
One of those.
You ready?
Yeah, finally.
All right, Schweiss. This is the history of Square Enix Part 1, which I have titled Rise of the Phoenix.
Oh, okay.
And there's a very specific reason for that title. Tell me, Schweiss, have you ever thought... I mean, what do you think real estate has to do with video games? Like, when you think video games, do you think real estate? Or when you think real estate, do you think video games?
Not at all, actually, no.
No?
Why would I?
Why would you not?
Because they are two very different industries.
Exactly. So unless you're talking about some sort of simulation game, like Real Estate Sim, that'd be interesting, wouldn't it? You wouldn't normally associate the two vastly different subjects whatsoever. But real estate is where Square Enix all started.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, I mean, Square Enix we know of an amalgamation of two companies, but this is where one of the companies all started. Real estate tabloids were sold by a little company formed in 1975, and at the time it was called I'm sorry, I'm going to screw up the Japanese here. Densha Boshu Service Center, and that was created by Japanese architect and entrepreneur Yasuhiro Fukushima.
I've never heard of that man.
You've never heard of that man?
Nope.
Well, if you knew the top 40 Japanese, the top 40 richest people in Japan, you would know that name. He's the 39th.
Yeah?
Yeah.
How would he feel about you eating bread while talking about his story?
I don't know.
He's probably like, no, bread, no.
Disrespectful.
Yeah. Send you a friggin' Tonto in the mail.
So, Yasuhiro Fukushima was and still is an intelligent businessman. After graduating from Nihon University in 1970 and spending some time in America, he decided that he wanted to get into the personal computer business after seeing its popularity in the States. I assume he was in California or Silicon Valley or somewhere close to there at that time.
Yeah.
And after a failed attempt to go national with his business in 1982, he decided to do just that and change the company's name to Enix, an amalgamation of the word ENIAC, which is the name of the world's first digital computer, and Phoenix, the bird that rises from its own ashes in mythology.
Oh, interesting.
So it was like he was rebirthing his own company.
Oh, that's a good thing to name it then. So unfortunately, Mr. Fukushima didn't know any programmers or computer professionals.
A very similar start to Square, by the way.
It's true, yes. So he had an idea. He would hold a computer program contest through his newly reformed company to bring the computer professionals to him. Over 300 programmers, over 300 programs, maybe by different people. I'd be sick if they just
Maybe 300 programmers.
Who knows, yeah. Were submitted into the contest, and Fukushima used his entrepreneurial prowess to select the most commercially viable options and hired those that showed a talent in commercial entertainment. One of the winners of the contest, Koichi Nakamura, would later be a key player behind the scenes of the Dragon Quest games.
So, two of the winners, and we'll see here in a second, one of which made a game called Door Door, the other of which made some kind of tennis simulation game. Those two winners actually worked together later on, and we'll talk about that.
All right.
So what he did was he set up this whole contest just so that he could get people to make programs that he could later publish. So at the time, software companies were kind of doing everything in-house and selling their own stuff, right? And it was for the passion of doing software, computer games, whatever they were doing at the time. Enix didn't run like other software companies at the time. Rather than focusing on in-house programming for their properties, they would often outsource their game ideas, causing Enix at the time to act more like a publishing company, similar to like a book publishing company, even utilizing a system of royalties for their contractors, which at the time, of course, as I said, was an unheard of practice in the industry. So unlike Square, Enix didn't develop their own games.
Yeah, they just kind of bought ideas and games from others. That's
Right.
how a lot of companies do it nowadays, too.
Mm-hmm.
So during the early days of Enix, they released a multitude of now unknown computer game titles.
Right. I was looking all over the place for these computer games that they apparently sold before moving on to the Famicom in Japan.
Mm-hmm. Not big hits.
I couldn't find anything except for what they ported, which we'll read about here.
So some of which were later ported
Yep.
to the Nintendo Famicom, including a tennis game and the popular Door Door game that we talked about, which was their first hit, and it sold over 200,000 copies in 1985.
So not bad. Now I do want to say something about Door Door. I looked at the Wikipedia article on the game Door Door. That's like a door, like you open a door to go into a room. Door Door. And apparently it's one of the most well-reviewed and classic Nintendo games, but it was never released here in the States.
Huh. That's
So
interesting.
over there, it has like a rich history of being this awesome Nintendo game. Over here,
We'll never
it's-
know, huh?
Yeah, I guess we'll never know unless you get like a emulator for it. But as big of a hit that Door Door was, their third Famicom game, after the tennis game and after Door Door, that was the one that really put them on the map.
All right, so this one was developed through a company called Chunsoft. Enix would publish a game that would change the history of video games forever. Dragon Quest, which
Yep.
obviously...
Boom, Dragon Quest, yeah.
Which is, Final Fantasy completely, pretty much ripped off and created this awesome series that we play.
Right. So this was led by Koichi Nakamura, contest winner and designer of Dordor, and Yuji Horii, another contest winner of Enix, the guy who made the tennis game, apparently. Their team set out to develop a new kind of computer role-playing game. Now, RPGs were not invented with Dragon Quest. I mean, we had Ultima and a game called Wizardry before.
Right.
And these two were big fans of it. The designers were big fans of the games Ultima and Wizardry and wanted to create a more simplified, console-friendly RPG for release.
And now, of course, what that means is they went in, they added a bigger focus on story and simplicity. Now, when we mean
simplicity
when
and
we talk simplicity,
gameplay.
yeah, we talk gameplay. They ditched the typing interface of Ultima, which is horrifying looking when I watch these Spoony reviews, and I'm like, oh my god, you have to type everything to these people. I'm like, fuck that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be like, oh god, what did he say?
It is something that I have never experienced.
Can you imagine one of us playing that thing? Just like, oh shit, what was I
I
supposed to
kind
tell this
of
guy?
want to see what it's like, but you got to get a DOS box to play those old games, you know?
Yeah, we could do it, but we'd have to fill out the manual. Like, I think it'd be fun though. I think it would be a very
think so,
different
too.
experience. But anyway, they wanted to kill that because of how much of a pain in the ass it was, and they created a much simplified selection-based menu, and they created what we now know as the turn-based battle system, and it pretty much invented the JRPG genre.
Yep. So, believe it or not, Dragon Quest was not selling well initially when it was released in 1986, but several Shonen Jump, the magazine, articles on the game helped boost the sales of the game in subsequent weeks. Not only was the game revolutionary, but the now famous soundtrack by master composer Koichi Sugiyama and art designed by Dragon Ball artist and creator Akira Toriyama. Those things about the game, not only the gameplay or whatever, but the music, the design, it set the game apart. And with the help of Shonen Jump, apparently, the game would eventually sell over 2 million copies in Japan. And as we said before, it would create the blueprint for JRPGs in the future, including that Final Fantasy, which is what this is all about. Without Dragon Quest, there would be no Final Fantasy, or of course, without Ultima and Wizardry, and apparently some other game that one of the designers worked on that had a really long title, so I didn't put it in the article. Without those games, Final Fantasy would not have been created.
True.
In the same way.
True, but without the...
It would have been typing.
Without the ripoff of Pong, whatever that... No, not the ripoff of Pong. The really early version of Pong that I forget the name of, we wouldn't have video games at all.
It's called Pong.
And without... No, there's something before it. Pong wasn't the first game.
No, I know it wasn't the first game, but...
There's
okay,
like one that's,
whatever the first video game was.
It's like a ripoff of... Not a ripoff of Pong. It's before Pong, but it's the same thing. We wouldn't have that. And then you know what? If we wouldn't have Discovery... No, I'm just fucking with you. So what else happened?
Electronics.
Yeah. Oil and, you know... There's so many things.
Tesla, Edison.
Yeah. So...
You can just go back and back and back, but... Especially Dragon Quest. I mean, the Dragon Quest, Final Fantasy, and Legend of Zelda games are linked in a very specific way that my friend Caleb was talking about earlier. And you can actually see this, is that if you go to a grave site, I believe in... I think it's one of the Legend of Zelda games. It says, "Here lies," and then a main character from the Dragon Quest games. Now, me and you haven't played very much of the Dragon Quest games. We're going to have Caleb Craig on here, but we're missing a microphone, so... He was going to talk about the Dragon Quest games a little bit more. But it had the "Here lies whoever" there. And then the Final Fantasy games. The first Final Fantasy, do you remember that headstone that said "Here lies Link"?
Yeah.
Yeah, they had that there. And then the Dragon Quest game had a similar thing. So they all kind of like were pulling things from each other. Those game series. Which is, I think is kind of cool. So yeah, Dragon Quest, it really was a big thing over in Japan, and it really spawned a lot of great stuff later in the future. Now, that game did come to the U.S., And it was called Dragon Warrior because of a copyright dispute or a trademark dispute over the name.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't as well received here, I believe, because it was released after the first Final Fantasy, and it was compared to it, and it wasn't. People didn't see it as good, but you know, it's a very important game to the genre.
Yeah, and I mean, Caleb Craig would counter that because he claims that he prefers Dragon Quest 1 over Final Fantasy 1, which I would hope it would be more entertaining. But, you know, who knows?
So, what else happened in 1986? I mean, 1986 was the year that Dragon Quest was released. What else happened?
Oh, man, I think...
Okay, I'll tell you.
Go ahead.
Is the formation of a little company named Square.
Dun, dun,
Dun, dun, dun. Yeah. So, tune in next time whenever we decide to do the history of Square-Enix Part 2.
Well, you know what, Joe? I think it's about time we started answering some questions. What do you think?
I think I'm okay with that. Let's do that.
Okay.
Eventually.
Yeah. All right, so first up in questions today. This one comes from Really511. Really.
Mm-hmm.
It's titled Awesome Summons. I feel like we may have talked about this before, but whatever. What do you guys think is the most amazing summon moment in all FF history? His favorite summon is Leviathan. But the most amazing moment is when Alexander is summoned in Final Fantasy Type 0.
I thought he was going to say Final Fantasy 9.
Yeah, that was a pretty decent one. That summon literally made anyone I showed it to drop their mouths open.
Well, if we're going to talk about open mouths, I'd say Shiva from FF8 or Siren from FF8, whichever one has the least amount of clothing.
I'm not even sure which one has the least amount of clothing.
Those are great summons. Dude, I have to say, there is no better summon so far than the FF15 demo of Rama.
Yeah.
Really.
It's pretty awesome.
There just isn't anything to top just the epicness of that. So I know a lot of people here have their favorites, but I mean, it's been outdone.
Yeah.
Really. I didn't think a summon animation could be that good.
Well, it is a pretty good one, but I think Knights of the Round is pretty awesome.
Okay.
And I think Knights of the Round in the
good.
HD remake of Final Fantasy VII is going to be amazing. Hopefully I can skip the fucking cutscene after the first part, though. Like, I want to see it one time or two times all the way through. And then after that, I want to do the little option in FF10 where it's like shorter version. I don't need to wait 5 minutes. I just want to kill
How
stuff.
about the instant version?
Or the instant version, yeah. Just they billion damage or whatever the hell they do.
It's an action game.
All right, so 15's Ramu and Knights of the Round for us, for me and him. But I think the 15 Ramu was amazing, though. Mm-hmm. It's like, when I summoned it, I was like, oh my god, that's awesome. He's huge. He looks freaking amazing.
It's so cool.
Such death is rained down from above. It's great. Great question there. All right, well, we got one from Light Sage here. I haven't heard from her in a while. She says, other games from E3 2015. I know that the announcement of the Final Fantasy VII Remake and the World of Final Fantasy were the only announcements out of E3 that were worthy of being news in a Final Fantasy podcast. I would like to know what other announcements that came out of E3 that you guys are excited for. I was very excited for a lot of game announcements coming out of E3 in this year that finally convinced her to buy a PS4. The non-Final Fantasy games that she's excited for is The Last Guardian, Horizon Zero Dawn, Kingdom Hearts 3. Does that count as an FF game?
Yes,
No.
it does.
No, not really, but we're going to play it
It does
anyway.
count in our playthrough.
It does, yes, to us.
And if there is big Kingdom Hearts news, we try to talk about it.
Yeah, it's got to be pretty big, though, which it usually is.
Yeah.
And Fallout 4. Not really. I didn't really watch anything
You're not
else.
excited for any of those things announced.
You know what? I tried to play Fallout 3, and I know everyone's going to bitch but I couldn't play it. I would the game was so bullshit to me. I would wander out in the wasteland, and I was like, oh man, this is really awesome. And then I would get killed by something, and the autosave would be hours back. I seriously lost like an hour and a half of just wandering around checking stuff out. And it autosaves for most towns, but not most buildings. So I lost so much time that I was like, I can't play this. I am done. My life was ruined right there. I could have been doing anything in that hour and a half, and I can't now.
And yet you suffer through FF12s.
I don't die nearly as often in FF12.
Well, you don't save nearly as often either.
True, and when I do die, it can be rough, but I don't know. Fallout 4, the trailer looked really good, though. I watched
Cameron was like freaking out over that Fallout 4 presentation. My roommate.
He's really into 3.
He is. Out of all the games I've heard that were announced over there, I gotta say The Last Guardian, which we've been waiting for like, I don't know, 10 years it feels like.
Yeah.
I'm still excited for that game. Good, more Team Eco stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything on it.
In fact, I got excited about like Shadow of the Colossus stuff earlier today, so.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you have that on the PS3?
Not on the PS3, no. Not yet.
It's pretty, Eco's good.
That's great.
Yeah, obviously it's a great game. So, all right. I guess we got a couple people for The Last Guardian. I think that's going to be amazing. I mean, Shadow of the Colossus, as we've said, is top-tier game. I mean, it's really good, so I'm hoping that it lives up to that. I don't see why it wouldn't, but... All right, so we have one here from Gammon Stark. It's titled Best Deal. Just chatting about Lord of the Rings: The Third Age.
This is a question for
Jake,
you.
And stated that it was the best $1.50 I've ever spent. Got to love being so far behind in games that I am picking up good games on the cheap several years down the line. I also lucked out at a library sale and picked up Dungeon Master, a non-fiction book about the early police investigations into Dungeons and Dragons. What the hell? For 25 cents. So what deals have you guys stumbled across on games and books? Oh, just remembered another. I picked up a Xenogears Greatest Hits for $10 in a GameStop. In
$10?
Early aughts. eBay sellers want at least $50 for it at the time.
Okay, I bought mine for like 20 something.
Yeah,
my Xenogears, which I thought was a
wanna...
great deal. Not that good though.
Dude, I passed that up like 20 times. I was like, I looked at the back every time. I look at the back of that game and I'm like, I don't want to buy this. This looks like bullshit.
Why?
Yeah, it's fucking mech suits. It's like I'm playing a JRPG version of Transformers.
Well, it's on our playthrough list.
I know, and it's supposed to be really good, but can you imagine at this moment, with all the Michael Bay freaking Transformers movies, how god-awful that seems from someone in my shoes, a JRPG version of Transformers. And I know it's probably nothing like that.
Transformers is Japanese. Not Michael Bay's Transformers.
No, but I mean, like, just a...
At least I think so, right?
I don't know if it is. I fucking don't know. It doesn't matter.
I didn't watch Transformers as a kid.
I watched the old movie. It was sweet, but... I don't know. It just looks like something I didn't want. Plus, I'm really picky on my games. I don't want to buy it if it's a greatest hits copy. I'm like a friggin' purist.
What's the matter
at times. It just looked... I hate the green bar. It looks like shit. And I wanted the one with the booklet, which I sacrificed for Parasite Eve because it doesn't have the booklet, but I didn't realize that because I bought it when I picked up that huge collection that this dude dropped by. It was like his entire life collection of Square games. And I was like, okay, it's got to have the booklet in there. And I just picked it up. But,
didn't?
No, I didn't. Sorry. I'm like, no! It was still a really good deal, though.
Yeah, that is a good deal.
I bought that for about... I'd say $15. That was a decent price. That wasn't fantastic, but I don't know. I want to say the best thing I've ever run into was when I bought the Final Fantasy VII for PC at DI. I bought it for $2.
DI, Deseret Industries.
Deseret Industries. It's a LDS run thrift store here in Utah. $2. Okay, and I went home and I listed it on Amazon for $78. I made $59 to $60 on that thing. And that was before the Steam release. That was like a year before the Steam release. So I sold that bad boy in the nick of time. Because the value on that thing has dropped like a Led Zeppelin. And I don't know, what else have I gotten a really good deal on? I gave you a really good deal on my Black Label misprint FF7 copy when I was going through that like money crisis phase where I didn't have any freaking funds. Sold it to you for $50, which is how much I bought it for. And
yeah, I enjoy it to this day.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in better condition than my Greatest Hits version.
Well, yeah, it's been. I didn't even play the thing, so I would hope so. And I think that's about it for my finds. Have you found anything worthy of note?
I found a Vagrant Story Black Label with the demo still inside.
Yeah?
Yeah. That was like $30, I think.
Oh, that reminds me of my FF5-6 thing. Mine's got the music disc on the inside.
Mm-hmm.
Mine's the...
That's because you got the Black Label.
Yeah, the Black Label's better, I'm telling you. It's not just an aesthetic thing. It's a legitimate discrepancy between the bullshit Greatest Hits version and the Black Label of the game. They reward you for buying it when it's early, when it's a newer game. I wonder if they just know. They're like, this is going to be really good, so let's give all these black ones the extra disc, and the green ones will have nothing. Nothing at all.
I got Greatest Hits of almost everything.
Yeah?
Yeah. I don't care. It's about the game.
Yeah, it mostly is, but I like everything to be in really good condition and try to do the original. It's worth more money. And, my Legend of Dragoon is another cool one. It's got the colored discs on the PS1 game. It looks really good on the artwork on it. So I'd say those.
Yeah, some good deals.
Yeah.
Yeah, Caleb got some real good deals.
Yeah, Joe, not so much, I guess. But all right, so the next question comes from Void. It says FF on PC. With the recent announcement of FF Type 0 being released on PC, it seems like Square-Enix is slowly moving over to the model of realizing their games on all current-gen systems plus PC.
At the same time.
Yes. How do you guys feel about this? Overall, he thinks it's great. It gives more people access to the awesomeness that is Final Fantasy. His only concern is that they don't care too much about releasing FF games on console and PC at the same time. If they were released on the same day, I would probably opt for PC more often. But if the current trend continues, it seems like they release months, if not years, after on the console.
I still have that piece of me that, you know, flight simulators, any kind of simulation game, shooters are okay. Anything with kind of an overhead view with a lot of clicking, that's a PC game to me. Anything where it's like an action element involved, which many of the Final Fantasies have, or any of the traditional turn-based kind of movements with it, I feel like it's best with the controllers. So although I am really cool with them going into the PC direction, it's not something I'm hoping for. Like, it's not something that I'm dying to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I know you're much more into the PC stuff.
Yeah, I'd rather not buy another PlayStation console.
I'd really rather not have to update my PC if a new Final Fantasy comes out.
It's not going to stretch mine, and I've had it for 3 years.
Well, let's say down the road, Final Fantasy 18.
I'd be willing to spend that down the road rather than...
And it only comes out on PC.
Yeah, that'd be kind of brutal. I don't want it to be only PC, but I'd rather them at least have the option available and not some bullshit 5 years later. Oh, by the way,
it's definitely, it's not going to hurt the company to do that.
No, I think it'd be great. And I may have gone with it.
With PC releases now, it's all download. Like, they hardly ever put out a physical copy of a PC game.
Yeah, and I mean, even with
so
that,
odd to me, but you know,
even with that, you can get special editions with the art book and stuff like that. So I would probably opt for it more. I mean, I'd probably get a controller, a nice Microsoft controller or whatever, and play it on there. But you can set your PC up to be your console. My PC is probably better than my PS4, and it's a 3.5-year-old computer.
That's impressive.
And like, or at least on par with the thing. There's nothing that's on the PC right now that really strains it that I've played. So I don't know. I kind of know what you mean. It has that feel to it, but you can always hook a controller up. We just never do.
Yeah, I don't mind. It's cool. I'm cool with them doing it.
Yeah, just
I don't want them to go only to PC though. That'd be annoying.
Nah, maybe an exclusive, but not like an exclusive mainline or anything. They do that shit with a DS. Do you really want to buy a DS, Joe? What are you going to do with the DS?
I have to buy a DS for the show.
What are you going to do with the 3DS after the Final Fantasy games?
I'm going to flush it down a toilet because I don't give a shit.
You're never going to touch it again because we don't have time for Pokemon. We don't have time for that shit
No.
anymore. It's amazing, but we don't have time for it. That's the problem, is like the PC, at least you can do your homework on it later.
So,
This one is FF11 offline.
yeah.
And it's from Kaftor. I think that's what
It has 3 posts. Get back on the forum.
Yeah. Well, he's pretty new, I think. But he says, "Hey guys, thanks for the podcast. Found it about 1 month ago and have been binging." He's up to the FF11 review. So I played probably over 500 hours of 11. Not sure why.
Jesus.
But I have an OCD addiction to completing things. So here's my
That's
question.
the wrong thing to pick up if you got that.
Yeah, 11 you should have never touched, man. So here's this question. I was wondering, after the servers close down completely, if you think people would be willing to pay $250 or so for a machine that could contain the entire game and have 6 outputs for keyboards and TVs for local multiplayer at your own pace.
So they're giving you a server?
Yeah, I realize a few changes in difficulty and auction house would need to be made, but I would love to get a group to do this at our own pace. What do you think?
Wow, I don't think that'll ever happen. It is an interesting idea, though. I think the best option for Square Enix would be just, the game's got to be small enough for a computer to handle it now.
Well, you could just privatize the servers, too.
You could.
Square could just say, we're done.
Yeah.
Be like, the game is as is. If you guys want to change, make updates, you can, and we don't want to do any anymore.
It would be interesting to have some sort of local play with it. I'm thinking he's also talking about. So
It's like a LAN.
I think it's a cool idea. Don't think it's ever going to happen, but it's a cool idea.
Yeah. It would be fun, but I can't see myself just occasionally getting on FF11. I would have to play it and then not play it anymore. That's how I do these games. And I don't think it's fun enough, personally, to just have like oh man, I can't wait for 11 night kind of a feeling going on. It's just like, oh fuck. I got to go back into this thing.
Fuck, 11 night.
I got to go talk to this person and then talk to this person and then... Because, like, I don't know. I think it'd be fun. And don't get me wrong, it'd be sweet to just have, a group of 7 or 8 dudes just going at the Final Fantasy
Stop the sentence there.
Stop the gangbang of FF11. But no, I
It'd be
think that'd be...
awesome. It would be so awesome.
Everyone just in a nice circle in the room.
No! Okay, all right, continue on before we get a bad iTunes review. All right.
Oh, come on. Who would do that? All right, this one is titled Go FF Yourself.
Okay, go F yourself. All right, let's go to the next question.
Chica. So she poked around a bit to see if this question had been asked, but she doesn't think it has been. We all know who your favorite characters are, playable, villain, etc., but who is closest to your actual personality and why? Maybe you fancy yourself a Balthier, but you're actually more of a Steiner. Even though FF13 is pretty far down on your list of favorites, where it belongs, I think I'm pretty similar to Fang. Or is she similar to me? I was here first. No, maybe. It depends on the year. She's feisty, says what's on her mind.
Has an Australian accent.
Anyone wants her to
Smoking
or
hot.
not. And is super loyal to those she's close to.
And holds a spear.
/3. What about everyone else? Or I guess less than.
Less than 3.
Yeah, it's a heart.
It took me like a year and a half to figure it out.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I got a cell phone late in life.
Apparently.
Who is closest to me? Oh, jeez, dude. I should have thought about this question before we answered it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You want to save this one for next week?
No. I
No?
don't.
You got an answer?
Yeah, I think mine would probably be Sid from 7. I swear frequently.
Sid from 7.
I'm kind of a jerk. I know my way around a spear. I don't know. I'm really good. I don't have a plane. But I don't know. I just feel like he's similar to me. I'm not really I have like a southern accent like he does, but I swear a lot, and I'm not like Barrett, so I'd go with Sid.
I could, on my worst days, be a little like Cypher.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah.
Douche. But no, and then another thing with Sid, I mean, he's a good guy. He's just kind of an asshole to everybody at times when they mess up. Like,
Yeah. Sid.
Yeah.
In 7.
Yeah. Well, he's Sid in every game. Technically.
That is an interesting question. I would like to see what the other people said, but Caleb clicked away from it.
Yep, it's gone now.
Don't worry about it.
We don't get to see it.
Remind me of that one later.
You'll revisit?
and I'll revisit it, because I never thought about it.
All right, yeah, some of these questions we can't just come up on the
That's
drop of a dime.
like,
or anything.
what FF character is closest to me?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Can you think of one?
No,
No.
not really. I mean, I could think of one for me, one for Caleb,
Dude.
maybe even one for Scode. He'd be Amaranth.
Yeah.
Just leave me, dude.
I have no idea.
Oh man. All right, so this one and the last one for today. Will you play the FF remake? This one is from Amberlane.
Okay.
1. Big question about the Final Fantasy VII remake for you all. Technically, you both went over it already, albeit in a small capacity. But will you guys
A small
replay?
capacity?
Yeah.
What's
well,
a large capacity?
Well, this part of the topic we didn't go over very far.
Oh.
It was just a last-minute thing. But will you guys play the remake for the show? The reason I ask is you never give a concrete answer. Joe didn't want to, yet Caleb did.
That's where we still stand.
Now, to comment on the argument that it is simply a remake, and if you played it, you would have to play the other 4 or so that were remade, not really true. The others were simply ported, for the most part.
No.
They contain tweaks to the graphics, difficulty, and translation. Granted, there are a few other additional things, but they don't really
Brand new translations.
anything and major story differences. That being said, the only game you could make an argument for about replacing it is the FF4 remake to the DS, because it's a legit remake. For all the previous stuff mentioned, it also has more story and stuff added to it, plus he thinks it has another character.
Okay. FF4 does have some story added to it.
Yeah.
That wasn't in the original. Yep, it's true. And so does FF3, but we played the remake of FF3 and not the original.
Well, we can't play the original.
We, in fact, played the remakes of... We played a remake of one. I played Dawn of Souls, and you played the PlayStation version.
Yeah.
Both of those are remade from the original. We both played the remake, the PlayStation remake of 2. We both played the remake of 3, the 3D DS version. And on that similar note, I played a remake of 4, but you played a port on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
No, I don't think it counts. I don't think 7's remake is any different than 4 or 3's remake. Since it's completely overhauled.
Okay.
And might add some other story elements into it. It's still a remake. I don't think we should do it. Caleb does, though. He doesn't even have to say anything. I know he thinks we should play it, if only for our podcasting audience. So this is a question that would have to be answered later.
Yeah.
Later, like 2 years down the road when the game actually comes out.
Yeah, I still think we should play it for the reasons that he listed, because it is more of a remake. It's going to be more of a remake than any of the other
So
ones.
shall we replay number 4?
No, fuck 4. We're not going to play that again. Yeah, that's right. I said it. Fuck the ending. Fuck the wedding scene. Fuck everyone coming back to life.
I liked the game. I liked the game, just not. It's not as good in comparison to.
It was
the
a great
other
game
games that
until the last hour, and then it's like, oh hey, remember all those emotional moments during the game? Oh yeah, that's all bullshit. It didn't happen. Everyone's fine. Fucking goddamn it! They fucked it up, man. It was so good, and then they fucked it up. Anyway, the rest of his question. Now on to the 7 remake. Honestly, even though it's a remake to the story. Although it's remake, the story seems like it will be changed enough to warrant another playthrough, since Nomura had said they are going to add more stuff to make it flow better, as well as remove stuff that made no sense. So even though it is a remake, at the same time, it's also a different game in its own right.
You could say that of the other remakes, though.
I mean, if you guys are deadlocked on whether to play it, make it a challenge or something. Like Joe plays the original and Caleb plays the remake instead, and just a review to compare and contrast. Now, we've done that with a couple, sort of. What was it? 1, I guess, was a little different, and
4.
And 4, yeah. But it was mostly aesthetic. Well, for 4, it looked really good on your version.
I played the PSP version of 4, which is amazing.
Yeah, it looks great.
Yeah, plenty of time to make a decision, so ask that question then.
Yeah, he says regardless, you have at least 2 years.
This is a question that makes me so uncomfortable because there's that part of me that has the list and the order of the list and the rules of the list. And the more that we break them, the worse it's going to be for us.
Yeah. Well, as long as we make a pact to never front load the good games and then just have a year or so of crappy Final Fantasy, not a crappy quote unquote, like the worst games, then we should be fine.
Okay.
That is a worry though, because everyone's like, oh hey, play this one.
There's a very specific order for everything right now.
Yeah. And who knows, maybe the 7 it could fit in at some point, but
all right. So do we have any iTunes reviews, Bryce? We do.
We do.
We're going to save it for next week, though, since it's 2 o'clock in the morning. We're running out of time, and we can't open up the iTunes thing yet.
Of course we can.
Oh, you got it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Caleb's typing it in. We're scrolling over to us because we dropped in the ranks. What the crap? Why? That was it right there.
Yeah, we really got rocked.
Yeah. We had our best month, and then we just dropped. We actually got 2 new iTunes reviews.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, we do.
Wow.
And they're both 5 stars, oddly. One of which is from Halsey from last week. He gave us a review.
Yeah, he...
Looks like he changed something here.
He did. He changed his 3 to a 5 and said, great podcast. Cares about their listener base.
Thank you, Halsey.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man. Let's see. Is this one new, too?
This one is new, yes.
All right, this one is called The Best Final Fantasy Podcast by Valkyria. No, I don't know. Is that true?
It's
new.
It is. It's new.
The hosts are incredibly real, personal, and without pretense. Caleb is incredibly grounded, empathetic, and looks at the games.
Bullshit. Caleb's a dick.
And looks at the games and news with a very balanced perspective.
So balanced.
Joe brings a level of energy and engagement. Let's see another podcast.
Thank you.
He skirts on the line of crude and funny, but never crosses it. Hell, you're not funny.
I never cross from crude to funny.
Yeah.
just always stay on crude.
Stay on that crude side.
Oh, did I read that wrong? I'm sorry.
No, it's crude and funny, so you're neither.
Oh, I never crossed that line.
Watch for the reviews. Stay for the personalities. Fan from the first episode.
The first episode. Thank you very much, Valkyria.
Yeah, man.
That's a very nice review. I'm glad that you're from the first episode.
That's a hell of a lot of dedication. I'll tell you what. That one was rough.
But balanced. Come on. Okay, come on. I think you're getting us confused.
Yeah, I'm way more balanced than you.
I don't know, man. I don't know. All right.
I would say that I don't know about grounded, but I think I'm way more crude than you are. But
I think so, but maybe not on the show.
Maybe not.
That's what I'm thinking.
Real life me is a little different, though.
Yeah, real life. Yeah. Yeah, uncensored Caleb. You should see it. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's way more uncensored than this episode, which is more
All right, so just so you guys know, you got to follow us on Twitter at UFF Podcast. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/Ultima Final Fantasy. Go to facebook.com/Ultima Final Fantasy to find us there and like us and
donate to us.
Send
on
us
Patreon.
messages, whatever. Yeah, donate on Patreon, please.
$1 a month, and we'll give you guys the episodes a day-ish early. Whenever we're done.
Whenever we're done recording.
And whenever I wake up the next morning, if it's like today.
Make sure you go to Twitch. Caleb streaming 12. Twitch.tv/Ultima Final Fantasy. Sometimes he even streams other games.
Yeah, when I play COD occasionally, I'll stream that too.
Yeah. And of course, all this information, everything can be found on our website, ultimafinalfantasy.com. And please, please, please join our forums. Talk amongst yourselves.
All right. Oh, I had a promise last week or during my streaming. Remember that contest that we made?
Yeah, you got it?
I don't have the item, but I mean, it's something I can buy. I have an idea for it, though. Let's say... you're coming over Wednesday, right?
Maybe. Do I need to?
Well, you're gonna play 12.
Okay.
We'll do Wednesday. Let's go 8 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. I'm gonna ask a question on the Twitch stream. Now this is something I gotta make sure I remember to do, and the first person to answer it gets the as before mentioned Final Fantasy 14 gift card thing.
A piece of Final Fantasy trivia.
A piece of Final Fantasy trivia.
Okay, and where do they need to answer this?
On the Twitch stream.
Ooh, okay.
So go to Twitch, follow us, make sure you're on when I'm on, and when 8 o'clock rolls around my time, I'm going to post a random question. Just pause the stream and ask it, and then the first person who throws up the right answer will get the gift card. It's a Final Fantasy 14 like trial thing, or not trial, but like a subscription amount. Okay. So
we got to figure out the logistics of that.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. And
on Wednesday.
Yeah, and then you guys will play 14 with us, at least for one of the months or 2 months or however, whatever I do for it. I haven't decided yet, but it's going to be something with the subscription for 14. Maybe I'll do it for the 2 months that we're playing. We could do that. That's fine.
You got our last week's question from us to you. So yeah, get on the Twitch stream, 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock Wednesday.
Mountain Standard Time.
Yes, make sure you know what that is.
On Wednesday. What are we, ahead of Pacific Time by 1 hour?
God, I don't remember, dude.
Or behind?
I am the worst when it comes to which ocean is which. Like, all I know is Gulf of Mexico for the win, but that doesn't matter at all for this. All right, so questions from us to you. Last week, we said, who in the FF community do you guys want us to interview? And here's the answers. Amerline says, honestly, and no joke intended, it'd be neat to see you interview someone from FF, Kingdom Hearts Union, just to see what makes them tick and compare your two podcasts. Or the damn Chocobo guys. They seem like they'd be fun guests.
That'd be an awkward interview, I'd say.
Well, especially with Union, because we were such dicks to them back in the day.
Back in the day, weeks ago.
Yeah, it was weeks ago, guys. Come on, it's episodes
Get over it.
Yeah, quit being a baby. It's just in our blood to conquer Europe.
Yeah.
From us, anyway, as far as the U.S. ratings go.
Kefka Palooza talked about getting people who did the translations, marketing, or who voiced the characters, and thinks it would be fun to speak to James Arnold Taylor, which is, of course, voiced Titus.
That would be really cool.
Final Fantasy X.
Not sure if we could do that, but it's worth a try, I guess.
I guess so.
You know, after I saw that question, I was like, oh, I'm going to jump on Twitter, and then I realized I had a new little phone thingy, my SD card, and I was like, shit, I'm not logged into the Twitter. Oh. I couldn't get logged in. I can't remember what the freaking password is.
Let me tell you it over.
Yeah. What is that, by the way? All right, so